Hello, and welcome to another episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. I am your well-being girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels, just encouraging you and helping you embrace the power of giving your body permission to relax for better choices, health, and wealth. And we are doing that one deep breath at a time. All you need is an open heart and an open mind and a willingness to grow and to go. So, hey, Matt, how are you doing today?
Hey, what up, doll? How are you doing today?
I am well. Man, I tell you what, we talk about health being the wealth that we are born with. We talk about all the other wealth that we need to know about and try to aspire to and have, legacies for our families wealth wise. But health is that wealth that we are born with. So that is just so encouraging to know. And of course, we know that means too that we've got to be good stewards over this wealth that we are born with, which is our health. And that means getting enough sleep, accepting responsibility for our own well-being, taking deep breaths as often as we need to, which sometimes is all day for me, tuning into our bodies, moving our bodies. And yeah, that's what we're talking about. So, Matt, this is November. And of course, we know the big holiday that happens in November is Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You ready?
Oh, yes, I am.
That's right. We found out in our last podcast about the great cook that you are. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, what are you going to be cooking this Thanksgiving? Are you doing the whole meal or?
This year I believe I'm in charge of the green bean casserole and the mac and cheese.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you're a mac and cheese connoisseur, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I love
Yeah.
me some mac and cheese.
All right. Oh, you may have to bring a little side dish for me to try, sample out now. Okay.
Maybe if I can bring some.
All right, if they don't eat it all up, because I'm sure as good a cook as you are, they're probably going to eat it all up. So, but when we talk about November being the month that we celebrate Thanksgiving, which I think should be all year long, this week is also World Kindness Week. So kindness, yes, I talk about that all the time, especially with my 13-year-old. Kindness is the quality or state of being kind, treating people with respect. And Matt, has anyone ever told you that you are a nice person?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Well, niceness, and this is how niceness was the definition that someone gave me. They said, being nice is someone that tells you what you want to hear. I don't know that I want that, because that may not be something that I need to hear or something that's going to help me. So I don't know that nice necessarily is what I want to be considered as. Kind, though, definitely want to be considered a kind person, someone that treats people with respect. So, I was just really excited when I was like, oh, wow, this is great. World Kindness Week, the whole week. And just a few days ago, we celebrated World Kindness Day. So World Kindness Day and Week was introduced by the World Kindness Movement. I love that. A global coalition of kindness organizations. This was back in 1998. It was established to encourage individuals and communities to prioritize kindness and goodwill as fundamental values. I think if we had more of that in the world today, we just really would see a different world and just how we respond to each other. So since then, back in 1998, the World Kindness Day or World Kindness Day has gained recognition and participation from people around the world, making it a day to celebrate and a week to celebrate and promote positive human interactions. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm all for that all day long.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Kindness. Now, would you consider yourself a kind person? Do you think you treat people with respect on a regular basis?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too, Matt. I would say that about you for sure. All right. So now, again, we observe World Kindness Week to highlight good deeds in our communities. Acts of kindness and goodwill are common threads that bind us. This week has become globally recognized and is now widely celebrated everywhere, which is so great, especially during these days and times. Participants from across the world come together to perform acts of kindness, and the sole purpose of this week is to focus on the positivity that surrounds us every day. And I think that is so important to really focus on just the positive things. It's so easy to focus on the negative things, but to focus on the positivity around us every day. It's a week to learn, to teach, and to share our kindness with others. Now, at the moment, World Kindness Week is an unofficial celebration. However, enthusiasts, and I like to throw myself in there too, hope that the World Kindness movement will soon achieve official recognition status by the United Nations. That would be absolutely wonderful. So now, here's the thing. World Kindness Day and Week is also a reminder that all simple acts of kindness have power. They really do. And that together we can work to create a kinder world. Every kind act, even the smallest one, creates a ripple effect that is bigger than you could ever imagine. And it's sad to say that negativity does the same thing, but thinking about kindness and how powerful a kind act is, it's just, I mean, it's amazing to me. So I don't know, you may recognize the expression, it's better to give than to receive. We hear that all the time. But I don't know if you know that this is actually backed up by research. People who are kind and compassionate see clear benefits to their well being and happiness. They may even live longer. I am all for that. And that's what we talk about here with, the health narratives, changing those and leaving health legacies. Well, being kind is a part of all that. Being kind to others can also help reduce stress. Oh, yes, and improve our emotional well-being. So these are definitely some great incentives on being kind. I always tell my 13-year-old, I say, and I call it loving people, because the Lord wants us to love people. He says that we have to love people. And, when my husband was alive, I would tell him and he would say, well, I know you don't love everybody. Well, loving doesn't necessarily mean that you have to even necessarily, you may not, everybody is not for everybody. You may not care for the person, but to love them means to treat them right. And I think that is all a part of being kind, right? So they've got all kinds of initiatives for this World Kindness Week and World Kindness Day that I have just loved seeing. They've got great things that you can do to kind of help you with this, including kindness bingo, coloring pages, random acts of kindness awards. And it's just all about making kindness the norm. They've even got a challenge for that. So I'm down for the challenge. I'm down for being kind and being kind to others and helping others to be kind to other people. And it's like that ripple effect thing. So on World Kindness Day and Week, everyone is encouraged to go out of their way to be kind to others, whether you're at home or at work, school, or just out in public. Being kind doesn't need to look or be extravagant. It really doesn't. And I've got a few simple ideas on what you can do on this World Kindness Day and Week. Something as simple as smiling when you walk by others, just smile at them. And I know now you may not get a smile back. Somebody may look at you and say, what is wrong with her? But I think if you do it in the right spirit with love, that can be just, very contagious. It really can. So, and try calling a relative that you haven't spoken to for a while. Now, it may be a relative that there's a reason you haven't spoken to him for a while. It may take some deep breaths and, really pumping yourself up to call that person, but call your relative that you haven't spoken to for a while. It probably will definitely put a smile on their face. Hold the door open for someone. And this used to happen a lot more. You don't see this as much, but try holding the door open for someone. Chat with a stranger and ask them about their day. Now, I'd say do that at your own risk, but, and just be led as you're asking, strangers about their day, or, just to say, hi, how are you? I say start with that, okay? Compliment someone, okay? Send a positive or encouraging text to 5 people in your contacts. I'm definitely going to try that one. I like that one a lot. You can tell a family member or a friend that you love them. And I'm a big proponent of telling, I'll say I love you in a heartbeat. I even say, love you to my coworkers, because it's coming out of a spirit of love for just mankind, and for them, because I care. Tell a family member or a friend, once again, that you love them. You can spend less time on your phone and more time with the people you care about. That's a really good one. And that can be very challenging, especially nowadays, but definitely a challenge worth taking up. Take time for yourself. And I think that's one of the biggest things. Now, I might have to ask you, do you think that you're kind? And I may have asked you this on another episode. Do you think that you're kind to yourself?
Um, Oh, actually, we have talked about this before.
Yeah.
Since we've talked about it, I've taken a conscious effort to try to be more kind
Yes.
to myself,
I
but
love it.
still
Yeah.
not really.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's one step at a time, but just the fact that you even are conscious of it now and that you are attempt to be kind to yourself, because I think that's a big one that we neglect a lot of times is we try and be, if you're trying to be kind to other people, but being kind to yourself, man, that is huge. And I think that is the first step. And I think as you continue to be able to be kind to yourself, it'll lend itself and make it easier. And I don't even know if easy is the best word to use, but you'll be more conscious and aware. Okay, I'm being kind to myself. Let me spread that out and be kind to other people. Practice gratitude, which I think is so huge. And I think that it really can help with any kind of negative thoughts. And I think it can help with depression a lot too. If you're able to really just think of those things that you can be grateful for. There's so many. And to give someone a hug. Once again, I will say do that. Be led. Don't just go hugging everybody, all right? But giving someone a hug, that is huge. That really is huge, and it really can go a long way. So another one that I really like that I saw, and I have to remind my 13-year-old as he's getting, because I think in Michigan, you can get your permit at 14 years and 9 months, arbitrary number, but so he's on the verge of, being able to get out there and to drive. And I have to always let him know that you have to be kind when we're out there on the roads as drivers. So when you're in traffic, here's something you can do, all right, to start to make kindness the norm in your daily life is to let people merge in traffic. All right, that's a huge one. Let people merge. And I actually think they teach that in driver's ed. I think people forget that a lot of time, but you are to be courteous and to be kind as drivers. All right. So that's something I think we can all do. All right. That will definitely cut down on the road rage. We can also share gratitude shout outs on social media, especially as a lot of us tend to be there so much. So why not go ahead and take that opportunity to share gratitude shout outs? Another one that I love that was given was to leave sticky notes with inspirational messages in public areas. That's cool. As you look around and as you're going through your day, to just see a random inspirational message in a public area, I think would be so cool. And I think that carries, it just carries energy with it. And so I think that is definitely big and a good one. And the final one, which I remember being a younger person in my teens, and my mom would always say, why do you always look like you're mad? Or why won't you smile? And I was like, I mean, what? So I get that now because I have to tell my 13-year-old the same thing. So do something to intentionally make your own self smile. Do you think it's easy for you to smile, Matt?
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah.
I usually, when I see you in the hallways, I see you with a smile. So that's good. That's telling me, that, yeah, that stuff is going well on the inside with you. And even if it isn't, you know what, you still have that energy of smiling. So sometimes though, you have to be intentional about making yourself smile. So think about that. Just be aware of that when you're out and about. I try not to make it look weird. Like, okay, why is she smiling like that? But, just to have a pleasant look on your face, a pleasant smile. Once again, I think that has energy. All right. So these are just some things that I think we can all do to just help make the world a better place as we celebrate World Kindness Day and World Kindness Week during this month of November as we get and look forward to Thanksgiving Day. So, man, I hope these tips have helped. I'll tell you what, I thank you so much for listening to Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. Be sure to check us out at Deep Breath and Taste Buds at blogspot.com. I'll tell you what, we got to end this episode. And how do we always do that, Matt?
With a deep breath.
Let's do it. Come on. In and out. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you on the next episode.
Good stuff.